Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the second part of Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick. When I say part 2, I mean chapter 12 onwards. I think it's 12, I can't remember. So a little bit about the plot first. We left off with Phil and Rick. Phil is this person working at this separate police station that we don't even know of. We don't know who he is or what the station is, but he's there. And they're going to kill retire, I should say, Lubeloft, who is this opera singer. And Phil does. Squeaky chair, sorry. They do that. They kill her. How horrible. And like I said in the last video, it was contested whether Phil was an android or a human. And I was reading it and I was very confused because I didn't really understand the results. The writing, I was like, am I just being stupid here? Is this writing really just not very descriptive of what's happening? So I don't know if Phil was a human or an android, but then he just kind of disappears out the plot. So maybe he is an android, don't know. And then Rick gets all the credit for killing Lubeloft because this other police station, like, who the heck are they? Who the heck is this other police station? So, yeah, he takes all the credit, he gets bare dollar. And then, you know, the only logical thing that you would do, he goes and buys a goat. You know, I mean, I would do the same if I got £1,000. Go and buy a goat. And we also left with Pris and Isidore. Pris, she said her name was Rachel Rosen, so we were thinking it's Rachel Rosen. It wasn't Rachel Rosen. That's the thing. Basically, Rachel Rosen is, well, there's loads of them. There's loads of Rachel Rosens, all that look like Rachel Rosen. That's the thing with androids. You could get them to all look the same. So there are loads of them prancing around. This is one of them called Pris, like I said. And Pris moves in with Isidore because she's terrified, basically. Her friends come round to their gaff. They're called the Batties. I can't remember their first names. What are they? Roy and Imgard. Strange name, Imgard. Never heard of that one. But there you go, that's what they're called. And they come and they're like, look at all these androids that have been killed today. OMG, this bounty hunter is going to be onto us. And alas, they're talking about Rick and they have a right to be worried because Rick, he's just gone back to the police station and they're like, you need to kill these 3 androids, this is where we found them. And it's them 3. And then Rick thinks, how on earth am I going to kill 3 androids? I mean, one on their own, I can do that, but 3? No. So he calls up Rachel, he's like, hello, can you come and help me please? And then they go to a hotel. Obviously, promiscuous tones already there. And a disturbing thing that Phil tells Rick is that if you love an android, which Rick kind of loves Rachel, you should sleep with them and then kill them. That's how apparently you get over that love. Rick does the former, but not the latter. So, don't know what's there to say about that. I have no opinions, basically. Apart from that it's a bit weird. But, yeah. I don't know what's going through Philip K. Dick's mind, but... And then after the hotel, I don't really know what happens to Rachel. I can't remember what happens to her. My notes are very vague. It just says that Rick in a building... That's what my notes say, so take that as you will. Rick goes and kills the 3 androids, Pris, who looks like Rachel, and he's like, oh my god, I can't kill Rachel, but it's not Rachel, but it is, but it isn't. And the 2 Batties as well. And then when he's doing this, Mercer just appears, which is a bit weird. Mercer is the person who's, like, in the empathy box, so when you hold the electrodes to the empathy box, you see Mercer floating through space, and he gives you advice in that. So that was a bit trippy. A bit weird. Then Rick goes home because he's heckin' sad that he's gone and killed all these people. Can't remember what happens to Isidore. I think he's pretty sad because he quite liked Pris. Yeah, again, I finished this a while ago and I just can't remember. But then he finds that Rachel has killed his goat. It's very sad. So the goat is just dead on the floor. And then Iran is like, what the hell? This is really sad. And everyone's just so emotional. And then Rick's like, right, I've had enough of this. I've had such a battle of a day. And then he just gets in his hovercar, goes up north. Up north it's completely desolate, no one lives there. Just kind of like space, really. And then he starts climbing a hill. and then he becomes Mercer. And I don't understand. That's just what happens. He calls the receptionist at his work, and she's like, "You look like Mercer." There's probably a really interesting metaphor that I haven't thought of about that, but I don't know what it is. If there is one, let me know, because I don't know. I'm just confused. And then he finds a toad and he takes it back, and then Iran's like, "This ain't a real toad. Sorry, bud. This is a fake toad." And thus concludes the story. So, I did enjoy this book. I gave it 4 stars, which I think was actually a bit... what's the word I'm looking for? A bit, maybe too much. That's not the word I was looking for. A synonym for too much. You can think of one probably better than me. The writing was good. Apart from the confused bits where Mercer... I was just very confused in why that happened, why he turned into Mercer. Rick turned into Mercer at the end. Also, I will talk about the sexist language later on, which is completely unnecessary and stupid. But yeah, I thought the plot was interesting. What I also liked is that it was set in one day. Yeah, that was just very satisfying to me for some reason. I don't know why. I just like this society as well. I thought the society was pretty cool. I wouldn't want to live there, obviously, in that society. But maybe it's something that could happen one day. Maybe. Let's talk about some themes. I'm not going to talk about too many themes because I was trying to think of some. And I just couldn't really think of anything interesting to say about it. My camera just died, so if there's a change in lighting, that's why that happened. Talking about quotes, the establishment does not want me to talk about these quotes, but I'm going to do it anyway. Got my notebook, exercise book of breast quotes. The first one. Her small high breasts rising and falling rapidly. When I see people breathe, I mean, I'm not looking at their boobs anyway, but I mean, I just don't think that happens. When women breathe, I don't see their boobs going up and down. I just don't really understand that concept, to be honest. The second favourite one. Because of her diminutive breasts. I only wrote like the breast part down, not the context of the sentence. Maybe I should have done that actually. Diminutive breasts. Why is anything due to her diminutive breasts? That is not a thing. That is not a thing. My favourite one of all. She has breasts that smile. She has breasts that smile. I'm confused. I mean, biologically, physiologically, how does anyone have those? So yeah, that was an interesting time reading those quotes. In Philip K. Dick, I had no idea he wrote like that, so I was a bit sad to see that. So that is why it didn't get 5 stars. Yeah, maybe I should have given it lower because of that, but yeah, not good. If you're right, just don't write about breasts. Just don't. Oh, and there was another one. He refers to legs, someone's legs. I can't remember whose legs they were. I think they were Lady Batty's. I can't remember her first name. Imgard Batty's legs as non-sexual legs. How are legs sexual? Like, does he think of all lady legs as sexual? So that when he sees non-sexual legs, he's like, whoa, those are non-sexual legs. I just don't get it. I really do not understand. And the last theme I want to talk about, which is, I think the whole purpose of the book is empathy. And I think his main argument is that empathy is what makes humans humans. I think he thinks that idea is quite flawed, as we can see through the empathy test. It's not a very good measurement, I don't think. But here's the thing. Humans are very complex, and I've read these things saying, this is what makes us human. It's empathy. This is what makes us human. We're so intelligent. this is what makes us human, blah, 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 blah. And it's just not as simple as that. We can't just say one thing is what makes us human. I mean, forgetting that biology exists, forgetting that genetics exists, of course, in terms of psychologically what makes us human, I think we can never say what makes us human. We can only say what makes us human in terms of biology and in terms of science, I think. It's too muggy. Too muggy, that's not really a word to use in this context, but you know what I mean. It's too vague. It's too vague. And I think you could build an android. That's not the point of the book, obviously. I think you could build an android that does feel empathy, and then surely that doesn't make humans. Empathy. I think of my dog. I think she might feel empathy. Empathy is a very complicated emotion, though. So it's impossible to tell. But I feel like she would. I mean, sometimes she's sick and then she feels bad about it. And I think, maybe she's feeling empathy for us. But I don't know, because we can't see through the eyes of animals. And here's the number one thing that gets on my nerves about this idea. This idea of what makes a human, is that humans are constantly trying to be superior to other beings. For example, I just read Superior. This is why I'm saying Superior so much. I just read Superior by Angela Saini, and it was talking about how white people in particular want to feel superior to other races. For example, in America, white people tend to do better than African American people in like exams and stuff at school. And some people think it's because of intelligence and IQ and science, when it's just obviously not. It's to do with society. So that's one way in which humans try to feel superior to others. And the other way is through animals and saying, humans are so advanced in their intelligence. This is what makes us superior to all other animals. And like, yeah, we're clever, but I mean, other animals are clever too. Just because we can think of all this science and we've discovered all these things, which is very cool, I think we shouldn't just downgrade animals at the same time. Do you know what I mean? I mean, try throwing like a leading scientist into the wild and trying to fend for themselves and trying to live for themselves. I don't think they'd last very long, do you? Because, you know, we've developed in such a way over the thousands of years that is not the way that humans live anymore. We rely on supermarkets. We rely on people making stuff for us. Yes, it's other humans doing it, but still, we are not self-sufficient anymore, whereas animals are the majority of the time. So yeah, that kind of went off on a tangent, but I hope you understand where I was coming from that angle. Yeah, so overall, an interesting book that made me think a lot. I'm sick of reading white men writing dystopian books. So the next read along isn't going to be a man. I want to read Noughts and Crosses by Mallory Blackman. I need to get my hands on a copy of it, though. And obviously the BBC show's coming out soon, so that would be cool. So hopefully that will be the next book that we read. So yeah, good book. I think he writes too much like a man who, you know, is feeling things for ladies that he cannot acquire, if you get my drift. Those are my feelings. If any of you have read any other Philip K. Dick books, I would be interested to know. I'd especially be interested to know if he talks about boobies in this way in his other books, because it did drive me a bit nuts. Thank you for joining me if you did read along with me. And I'll see you in my next video, and I'll announce what we are reading on Twitter as well. Oh my god, for April or May, this year is just flying past. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye!